Hey, how you guys doing? It's your boy Beastly back at it again with another college football 26 video. Apparently, this video I'm making is controversial, so if you guys can, show this video some love. Drop a like, a comment, and if you're new, please subscribe. We're on the road to 6,000 subs, and we're going to be prepping for the CFB 27 season. So if you would like the best tips and tricks and insight into how this game actually functions and not have people feed you nonsense, stick around. So in today's video, it was a controversy. I didn't know it was a controversy until I woke up out of bed this morning. But either way, to give you some very quick lore, the scoop basically is yesterday someone in my Discord, which by the way we linked in the description, free, just make an account. It costs 30 seconds, it takes 30 seconds. Anyways, in my Discord, Mythicos asked what stats I want to upgrade on my DBs to play better match coverage. Which for starters, I don't recommend match coverage because match coverage is insanely buggy. Sometimes it'll leave people wide open going up the field. That's not a stat thing. That's an EA coding thing. But either way, if I want to run match, what's the best stats for match? I basically told the guy, hey, I have a video already that breaks down the thresholds, the stats you need to get the stats you want for the gameplay you want. And I'll have that also linked in the description of this video as well in a playlist. It should be somewhere in my How To Dynasty series. But regardless, the things you're looking for as a quick example mid-video is 90 man coverage, 90 zone coverage. Those are where the elite thresholds start. Yes, can you go up to 99 man and 99 zone? Yes, you can. However, the gap between somebody with 90 man versus 99 man is not very big. But the gap with someone with 89 man coverage versus 90 man coverage is insane. And that applies to other stats like route running. The gap between 99 short route running versus 90 short route running is very small. But the gap between like 88 short route running and 90 is immense. So 90 is the sweet spot for most stats. Some stats do change. Again, it break it down more in depth in the video. But that was the question that was given to me. And it sparked this debate in my Discord about what stats match uses. And I'm like, are we really arguing about something that has been a well-known fact for almost 10 years? And then people were then linked videos and Reddit threads of people, I guess, trying to explain what they think. And I'm like, guys, this has been a feature in the game for almost 10 years. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you very quickly. With a very quick Google search, Madden 19 was the first Madden game that introduced match principles, says Google. I knew it was somewhere around Madden 20. I couldn't quite remember if it was Madden 18, Madden 19, Madden 20. I knew it was somewhere around that ballpark, which it says it was Madden 19. If I believe correctly, I'm pretty sure Madden dates the game 1 year in advance before the next game. So Madden 19 would be 2018, I do believe. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but either way. This has been a feature. We're in 2026 for almost 10 years, and I don't understand how we're still arguing on how it works, because again, this has been a hard thing for a very long time. So this is going to be a very quick, probably under 10-minute video. If not, I might yap for a little longer, but sub 10-minute video, that's the goal. I have a team, as you guys can see, I went ahead and loaded up Georgia. I figured if I'm going to do a match video, I should probably use the coach that calls the most match coverage in college football. And if you disagree, go argue with the wall. So for this Georgia team, as you guys can see, I went ahead and edited all their stats. Everybody on this defense has 99 everything except for man coverage, as you guys will see momentarily. Bam. Everybody has 99 zone, acceleration, awareness, play rec, agility, COD, whatever. Every stat that you could possibly imagine that'll do something, except for man coverage, that's set to 10. I have the same thing for Earl Boone, the middle linebacker. I'll just go ahead and, as you guys can see, maxed out everything but man coverage. I did the same thing for the corners. As you guys can see, maxed out everything but man coverage. I did the same thing for the safeties. You guys get the point. So I'm going to do this with no edits, no cuts, nothing like that. That way I'm not going to get called. This is with default settings, by the way. I haven't changed sliders. I haven't touched absolutely anything. We're playing, I think, on Heisman, which does kind of skew this because if you're playing on All-Pro, safeties and corners play worse than on Heisman. So just keep that in mind. I am on Heisman for doing this because most people do play on Heisman, which I figured is a prerequisite, so I might as well do it. But depending on if you're playing cut or if you're playing road to the college football playoffs or regs, different game modes have different difficulties. Different difficulties will make the stats do different things. That's first of all. Second of all, I'm going to show you guys this. I have not touched the Clemson roster. This is the generic Clemson roster. So when you see the defense that's about to step onto the field and how this DBs and safeties and linebackers are interacting with tight ends and receivers and running backs, just know I have not touched Clemson. Technically, to be fair, I would give them maxed out stats too. That way it's not heavily skewed, but I didn't really touch Clemson's roster just because there's really no point in this experiment, because there really isn't an experiment. I'm going to literally just go into the game and show you. This will take 30 seconds to do. I will give Clemson one drive on offense, and I will give for each teams, I have 2 save files, one where everything's maxed out but man coverage, and one where everything's maxed out but zone coverage, as my game is running at 3 FPS. I didn't know. I don't use Georgia very much, but I didn't know when they leave the... Oh, it's going back to... I don't know if you guys can see it in the recording, but yeah, we were in single digits FPS right there. That was crazy. I didn't know that was a problem with Georgia, but either way, I could edit this part out of them walking onto the field, but again, no edits, no cuts. I don't want to be... No. Everything is default, except for the difficulties on Heisman, not all pro. Again, changes can be made to that, because depending on what you're playing at, changes the stats. There's the Bulldog, or... Yeah, that's a Bulldog. No, I just woke up. Do apologize. I just blanked on the Georgia Bulldogs being called the Georgia Bulldogs. And of course, while I'm doing the video, I am not playing defense first. I am playing offense. I am simply going to call a fair catch, punt them the ball, and then we can actually begin. It's kind of just ironic how this works out. I'm trying to test defensive stuff, and we get the ball first, as per usual for every football game video. Where is regular punt? There we go. And they don't have a gunner, so this should be just like a great punt. Assuming we get like a decent bounce. Or the guy just catches it. There you go. So I have the formation already set. If you're curious, no, it does not matter if you call match from base personnel, nickel personnel, dime, dollar. It doesn't matter where you call the match. All that matters is the stats the people have, which we're going to be doing 3-3 over for this. And I'm going to be running a variety of coverages from cover 4 palms, cover 3 buzz, cover 3 match, different matches. I will be containing the DNs. That way they don't, influence this. I will also be using a D-tackle. That way I'm not doing anything. There's no user here. This is just maxed out stats across the board with generic vanilla Clemson stats. And as you guys can see, he just broke a tackle there because of an ability, but they're playing fine, right? Because shocker, even though I'm running cover 3 and cover 4, I'm running... Okay, the CPU is coming out in goal line. That's hilarious. I'm going to let them get this, but I was kind of hoping they would not come out in goal line, but I'm just going to go ahead and let the computer have this. Realistically, I would come out and stop that with field goal block, but I'll let it go. But yeah, regardless, I'm running cover 4 quarters, cover 4 palms, cover 3, buzz, match. Ultimately, it's a zone that uses match principles. Which that's just... There you go. That right there is why, me not using the D-line seriously kind of just binds it there, because the D-end is supposed to crash on that, but that's not the point. I can't make the computer pass the ball every play. And, I mean, do I need to say more? Like, do I need to say more? The computer called, like, what, 3 pass plays this entire drive? This is cover 3 match. And my DB literally ran the route better than the receiver did. I understand how, like, if you're new, I should have also probably put this at the beginning of the video, but if you're new, you have 100% earned the right to be confused on how match coverage works. But if you're an OG like me, I've been playing Madden literally my entire life. My first Madden was Madden 12 for online head-to-head, for actual playing Madden. My first computer game of Madden was probably like Madden 04, Madden 03. So I've been playing the computer for going on 20 years. I've been playing people for going on 15 years. So I know how this does work. And as I can, again, show you, even though I am in a zone and they are basically playing the concept of man coverage, the stat you need is zone. Now, obviously, him catching the ball is because he's a catching ability. If this was your DB without platinum interception ability, he probably drops the pick, but the ability is not the reason why he plays the route. And it's not even just this route. You can look at this route too with 87. This is also match, and as you guys can see, my linebacker just completely blanket covers him because that's his assignment, and that's what he does. And you can also look over here. I mean, this is kind of before the ball leaves his hands. My DB just plays him like a normal zone. So you see how even though, again, it's matched tendencies with man principles, but with zones on the back, this guy is playing it like a zone, but as you guys can see, this guy is playing it like man, because that's how it works. It's zone that plays like man that requires the zone stat. And another thing, too, is, which is why this makes me chuckle, and I was going to elaborate this, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, is if there's no one to match with, as you can see, 48 matched with the running back, but 32 has nothing because, was it 16? Yeah, 16 matched the tight end, so 32 has no assignment. You want to guess what the computer does in match coverage when they don't have an assignment? They just play normal zone. He's playing a normal vertical hook. That's all he's playing. Now, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like he probably should have, not let him get wide open, but I guess to be fair, at this point in the route, at this point the ball's already been thrown, so I can give them some. But yeah, that's it. Just in case, you think it's a fluke, I will go ahead and do this one more time. We'll just come out in regular punt, do punt max coverage. I should honestly probably jump to the other save file already because I've already proven my point, but I will go ahead and do one more drive where I think we didn't call cover 4 palms last drive. We called quarters, we called cover 3 match. Where's palms? Cover 4 palms. If you're curious the difference, by the way, between the match coverages, little insight for you. The difference is alignment. Palms, I might get this backwards. As you guys can see, my corner just played that magnificently. He's backpedaling and then plants his feet. Why? Because even though he's in a zone, that's his man assignment, so he plays it like man, which, yeah. But if you're curious the difference between palms and quarters and all the fun different matches, it's basically inside out. And what I mean by that is I could get this backwards. It's his football knowledge. He almost just threw a pick right there. This is football knowledge. I might get backwards, but I'm pretty sure cover 4 palms reads from the inside slot receiver to the outside. So, for example, on this play, you would read 87 first, 85 second, and then 17 third, which I'm going to wait until, yeah, they just got 3 back-to-back drops. That's fun. But basically, again, I could get this backwards, but when I say you read it inside out, what that means is that this inside receiver gets matched to him. This slot receiver matches to this guy, and this slot receiver matches to this guy. If the running back, which this guy is blocking, or I lied, he's running a leftward thing, but basically if this running back were to cut to the right, the linebacker would rematch to the running back, and this safety would just pick it up. Unless I have it backwards, and palms is outside in, which would be he matches to him, he matches to him, this guy gets matched by the safety. No, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right, because the linebacker matches to him. So yeah, I think palms is inside out, and then regular quarters is outside in. But it doesn't matter. For the video, it doesn't matter. As you can see, the computer didn't move the ball back-to-back drives, and we're just going to go ahead and end it here. I really don't feel... I think I've beaten my point into the ground, and we're already 13 minutes into a recording, so... I think we're fine. I think I proved my point. There's a maxed-out defense with maxed-out zone and no man coverage, and they were playing lockdown D. Now, again, to be fair, I could have made Clemson's receivers better, but for the point of this video, it really wouldn't matter. And then where is the man? Here we go. So this is the inverse of what I just showed you. Everything else is the exact same. The players on the field will be the exact same. The players on the other team will be the exact same. Everything will be the exact same. However, if you come into their stats, you will see very quickly that they have... Where's the... I probably should have filtered. But as you guys will see it momentarily, they have maxed out man coverage and no zone coverage. So they will have the exact same players on the field doing everything we will call the exact same coverages. And what you will very quickly notice is even though we have 99 man coverage and the zone plays like man, the coverage will not be good. In my testing of doing this before I clicked the record button, I did 3 drives each. On the 3 attempts I did with the zone defense, it went punt, punt, interception. In the one that we just did was interception, then punt, and then I stopped for the third one. And this one went touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. So obviously there's some fluke, there's some variation to it, right? Doing these experiments can, there's some outliers and stuff, but generally speaking, that's kind of how it goes. I would fully expect to get touchdown, touchdown, touchdown here, unless the computer does some just generationally bad fumbling here. I would love to skip this, by the way, E. I'm spamming the A button, the pause button, every button on my controller to try and skip this, and I can't. So that for CFB 27, skippable intros would be awesome. Go Dogs. Appreciate you. And of course, we get the... Oh, that's funny. That is peak comedy. The fact I have it set to kick off, and we are still receiving. That is irritating. It doesn't matter, though. All we're going to do is get the ball and punt and waste 45 seconds of our life having to set this up. Because, again, insert joke on any Madden/college football contenter's video, whether you're doing a running back gameplay, a DN gameplay, a linebacker gameplay, a safety gameplay, you end up getting the wrong side of the ball every singular time. We will do regular punt, and here we go. Where you'll notice the drop in stats, by the way, the most is specifically for cover 3. Ooh, that was actually a good punt. Nice. Is specifically cover 3. Because cover 4 is at heart cover 4, you will always have your deep safeties semi-deep. Does not mean they won't get torched, but semi-deep. Whereas with cover 3, there is one less person running down the field to play deep. So it leads to stuff, as you guys will see, cover 3 match. I will click on the D-tackle and do nothing. And we will see the CPU calls an RPO, and he gets a bunch of yards. If you do a little stark comparison to the previous game I just showed you versus this one, where they would gain 0-0 and whatever, Beastly, why did he gain so many yards on this RPO? Well, that's because this defender, who has 0 zone coverage, is backpedaling on a swing pass. If he has 99 zone here, he plants his foot in the ground and he goes after that ball carrier a second ago and turns what was a gain of 6 into probably a gain of 0 or a gain of 1. Right? They have the exact same stats, it's just the wrong stat because he has 10 zone coverage. And you could, go across the field and see it elsewhere, but already just one example of my point being proven of just them not doing things properly because they don't have the attributes to do so. Right? You can't blame it on speed, and they call a run play. That's not supposed to happen. We'll just do it again. But you can't say speed because Clemson has, low 90s or high 80s speed guys, and we got 99 speed. You can't say it's agility or COD because we have better stuff than theirs. I mean, you just saw it right there perfectly again, right? They just ran a curl route, and my DB was still backpedaling on a curl route. Why was my DB backpedaling on the curl route? Like, what are we doing? Well, that's because he's not playing the zone properly because he doesn't have the attributes to play the zone properly. That's kind of the point here. And I'm not pass committing also, for the record. I'm literally containing and just holding my controller. If I were to pass commit, it would make things even more worse for the computer. That wasn't actually wide open. The CPU just overthrew that. That's unfortunate, but that was just open, so. Good old CPU. We'll do a cover 3 buzz match. We'll try this match. But yeah, that was open. The CPU just threw a bad pass. I'm assuming he probably got hurried. That's crazy. Even on a contain, he still comes home like that. Well, that's crappy. That's going to skew these results. Having a QB overthrow into a unblocked DN sack. Oh, that was a drop. So in the end, we still did play defense, but I would put a massive asterisk on that defense, considering the guy had like a 12-yard crosser get overthrown and on a play action sack, which I don't know how the hell my D tackle or DN came through untouched, but good old Madden coding for you. EA Sports has no idea what they're doing. We're just going to punt them the ball back and keep going. So yeah, if you're new, 100% I understand why you would be confused about this stuff, but if you've been playing the game for a long time, and or if you're a content creator who flexes how much knowledge you know of the game, kind of irritating. I mean, again, we can't really control how stupid the AI is, but this was another RPO screen, and my dudes are backpedaling 12 yards deep because they don't have the awareness. I mean, I lied. They do have the awareness and play rec, but they don't have the zone, which matters more in a zone. And because the AI is stupid, the AI decides, Yeah, I'm going to run straight into a linebacker up the middle rather than cutting to the left side where all my blockers are. If this receiver cuts to the left, that's a massive play. But either way, it does not ultimately matter. We'll just keep coming out. We might keep accidentally lucking ourselves into defensive stops, which is just very funny that for the video. We got, you know, actual stops, but it's a screen. That is, oh my god, you literally can't make this shit up. They just called a computer screen. I saw it, I don't play the screen, but my defensive end blows the left tackle up so hard that it bounces off his fucking face. Wide open, dot. And again, it may not, if you're not, you know, an experienced individual, you probably don't know this, but it may look the exact same to you, like nothing's changing. Here we'll press, but see, that play is hard because I could have blew that up with the D tackle, but I'm not supposed to be influencing these plays as a D tackle. I'm supposed to just be here, but the CPU keeps calling these damn screens. This one we're not going to actually blitz. We're going to pretend to blitz. So this is as man coverage you can get. Hat on a hat, head on a head. And what is that? 7 yards on a check down. Which I don't even know who his man responsibility was on that play. Actually, let me go ahead and look. Who was his man? They both matched this dude and left him wide. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was supposed to match 84, and either because his zone coverage is so low, he doesn't match properly, or that's just, like I was alluding to earlier, where this game is so poorly coded that stuff like that happens and you think, oh, man cover, but like I'm pretty certain that was supposed to be matched and he just didn't get matched. But yeah, the CPU couldn't move the ball against us. And as you guys can see, that should be a dot. That should have been a dot. That was another play, another drive where the CPU gets screwed. But yeah, that was open. That was a dot. If he can just put his feet in bounds, it's a first down. Like, look at that. My linebacker has 99 everything but zone, and he is so slow to react to this pass across the middle. Because like I said, when he has no match responsibilities, it's just regular zone, and because his zone is so bad, he can't do anything. Like, this is what you get when you play match with no zone. Now, obviously, in a perfect universe, you would prefer to have good man and zone for match, right? But you don't have to, because it's man, or excuse me, it's zone regardless. The reason why I think you would like to have man coverage with your match is to where you can call just regular man defense, right? Like, if I were to just call a generic cover 2 man here, this defense will play so much better than match because we have the actual attributes to run the defense. But because to most people, there is no difference between a zone match and man coverage, right? As you guys can see, gain of 5 right there. Could have got a lot more yards on a great little man-beating route, but we have the attributes to actually play defense. So, in a perfect world, you would want a secondary full of guys with good man and good zone. That way you could run multiple kinds of defense. But if you're explicitly just running zone, or excuse me, just running match, touchdown. Exactly. If you're just running match as your only defense and you're not blitzing and you're not doing anything else, you need zone. So, we didn't go touchdown for touchdown. Unfortunately, the AI didn't score the first time they had the ball. But as you can see, just from the very small comparison from the before and after, the other CPU against the other defense with actual good stats couldn't gain a yard. It was just a mauling. And then this time we get walked down. And that even includes the game just, you know, screwing the computer and having overthrows and feet not in bounds and yada, yada, yada. Just very quickly, we're approaching the 24-minute mark of this video. I am going to do one last drive, and I think my point can be proven. I think we can wrap the video here. And, yeah. If you're new, I appreciate you. I do fun little rebuilds and challenges and little informative tidbits, but every now and then I gotta I gotta respond to some interesting stuff, and this would definitely be interesting. Because again, if you know better, then you shouldn't be spreading nonsense. And if you don't know better, why are you spreading nonsense? Last drive, Clemson. Can this merry band of misfits do anything? Wide open drag for 6 yards. Why was the drag wide open? Well, because the guy who was supposed to match him couldn't match him. Why couldn't he match him? That's because his zone coverage is so abhorrently bad. He's backstepping on a drag route. Can't really, you know, help the CPU just running straight into the ass end of their lineman. That's not very fun, but that was a very, very, very fluky knockout. That was incredibly fluky. Who is this? Number 84, the tight end. His DB that was matching with 84 PI'd the shit out of this receiver. And because he PI'd him, he got to the spot late. And because he got to the spot late, he dropped the ball. Yeah, that would have been open. The other funny thing about running match coverages is because it's zone with man tendencies, the routes that beat man coverage also beat match. So like curl routes, comeback routes, corner routes, stuff like that. Now this is with, again, a generic bland Clemson. If I gave Clemson like super receivers, like maxed out stats across the board, it would be disgusting, right? They would be just walking us down. But these guys are having issues playing defense against just regular people, just regular average CPU Joes 5 years into the future. Okay, computer, can we like not just do something stupid here? Wide open. Good little 12-yard pass. Call cover for quarters this play. Last play we ran a cover 3 match. Call cover for palms. Forget what this was, but whew, that is wide open across the middle. That's not a guy within eons of him. We'll call cover 3 Buzz Mabel here just to keep calling different matches, but it really doesn't matter what I call it. The principles still apply. It's the exact same thing. Wide open underneath. Gains 7 yards. Next match coverage, we'll do cover 4 palms this play. I guess I can show blitz just to drag my defenders down. They're not actually pressing, so they won't have to jam the receivers into oblivion. CPU took its check down. Why was that check down so wide open? Well, the check down was so wide open because the linebacker that was supposed to match to him didn't match accordingly. Why didn't he match accordingly? His zone is too low to properly match. It's not rocket science, people, especially doing the before and after comparison of having my DBs play literally everything on the field, my linebackers play everything on the field, and these guys aren't playing squat. Motion also bricks match coverage, so yeah, there's 2 guys wide open there. Yeah. If the CPU threw 84 earlier on, he probably could have got, I say he, but it probably could have got like 12 to 15 yards there. I don't think anything was open there. I think both the RPO was not open and the running back was not open. I think that was just a fail across the board, which those do happen. Well, yeah, that read option is going to always work because I'm not really holding my edge. I didn't realize the CPU comes out and does so many tush pushes on 3rd down. That is something I thought, I knew they do that, but I didn't expect they do it. Was that like the 4th time this video already? 4 or 5? They're doing it again. I need you to pass the ball, please, and stop doing these. these little nonsense. So there I specifically pressed and pass committed, and we still gave it up. Please don't run the ball. This is an inside zone. Okay, it's the end of the quarter. Leave a comment down below if you learned a thing or two from this video. And I read all my comments. Just if you're curious, may not always respond to all of you guys, but I do make sure to read all my comments. Got to make sure I call the right defense because we have the actual players subbed in where they're supposed to be in this formation. Where's match? We'll do cover 3 buzz. We will press, which should make the matching assignment super easy because get the person who's in front of you. That slant was open. Unfortunately, their receiver can't catch to save his life. Looking like he's an actual Georgia receiver from last year. If you know, you know. Cover 4 quarters. This looks like another RPO to the left. Please don't RPO to the left. It's an RPO. And they score. Why did they score? Because my DBs aren't attacking the play. Why aren't my DBs attacking the play? Because they don't have the zone to physically run the defense. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video that turned into like a 45-minute recording session. I appreciate y'all, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Actually, wait a minute. We got our shout-outs. Let me go ahead and roll the shout-outs real quick. As always, I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, night, afternoon, or day, depending on whatever time you watch my content in the future. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, drop me a follow, or sub on Twitch. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you can, please become a member. Memberships support the channel a ton. You get a lot of perks on the channel, such as early access to all my videos, whether it's a few hours early, days early, or like we were doing for the month of January, a whole month early. So early access, so you get the inside scoop for all my content, and a lot more perks in the Discord and or during the live stream. So I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all you beautiful bastards on screen here, all the absolute goats of our memberships. Also, special shout out to Leon, 12-month member, first 1 year. Appreciate you, dog, an OG amongst OGs, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.